Good evening, Cubs fans. We have some good news as the Cubs were able to take down the defending American League champions 4-3 in this game. And these are a type of wins that I get excited about the most. And the reason for that being, winning close games is so much more important than the blowouts. Because, we know that the Cubs are capable of scoring, 10 to 12 runs a game, not on average, but that they're capable of being able to put up that type of offense with the people they have. But here, I guess what you have to see is vital is the fact that, in these low-scoring, close games, it's so important to come out on top because these are going to be the majority of games that you're going to play. You saw this. I mean, we've watched the Cubs throughout 2013, 2014, going back 2012, really going back for the past 106 years. But more of a recent problem is that the Cubs have struggled hanging on to small leads and winning these close games. So a game like this, it's spring training, so I've been emphasizing this throughout spring training, but I'm just going to say it again. These games don't matter. And I guess the Royals are defending AL champions, but with a situation like this, winning this game, you're up 2-0, it becomes 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, you allow 2 more runs, but you hang on. At the end of the day, a win's a win, and that's what's really important to get. Dexter Fowler went 0 for 2 in this game with a run and a walk. Chris Denorfia goes 2 for 3. Anthony Rizzo picking it up a bit. He goes 2 for 2. Starlin Castro 0 for 2 with an RBI and a walk. Miguel Montero goes 1 for 3. Junior Lake goes 1 for 3. Matt Caesar 1 for 2. I just threw my pen on my keyboard. Sorry about that. More on Matt Caesar a bit later in this video. A few things to say about him. So Montero picked up a double. Castro, Rizzo, Lake, all the RBIs. Matt Caesar and Javier Baez with stolen bases. Really encouraging performance from Jason Hamel today. He goes 4 innings, allows 2 hits, strikes out 3. That's really good, especially because he struggled his last few times out. So it's really good to see that he's back in the swing of things, and hopefully he'll be ready and performing really well at the beginning of the regular season. Phil Koch looked good. He went inning, allowed a hit with a strikeout. I'm going to put my money on Phil Koch to make the bullpen for the Major League team. Zach Rosscup has been looking outstanding. He won an inning, walked 1, but that was it. So, really, you're looking at a team that looks really good. The Cubs are able to hold on this game. They win 4-3. And, it's their 5th win in their last 6 games. So the Cubs have really picked up a lot of momentum. They're moving forward. Today's March 17th, and they're looking at that eventual date, that April 5th, to where they'll be put in that situation to where the games will start mattering. And the first month of the season is extremely important. You have St. Louis, you have Pittsburgh, often and early on. So it's really important to be able to strike early and get yourselves a good record with those teams. There are 2 additional things I want to talk about really quick before the end of today's video. The first thing being Kris Bryant and service time considerations. The Cubs are not going to outright say that the reason that they're going to keep Kris Bryant down at the beginning of the season is because of baseball reasons. I think we all know that Kris Bryant is ready for Major League Baseball. But the implications that surround this is the whole service time rule. We can get an extra year of control of Kris Bryant, that year being 2021 or his age 29 season, in exchange for keeping him down for the first 12 days of the season. The Cubs only play 9 times in those 12 games, but 9 games can make all the difference in a season. So looking at being competitive this year, the Cubs just have to make a baseball decision based on that. Putting Kris Bryant on the opening day roster means that we don't get that extra year of control in 2021, and that the Cubs would have to make an effort to be able to sign Kris Bryant to a long-term contract before that point. Chances are by the end of April, we will forget even having this discussion, but right now, it's a huge issue for the Cubs and something that Theo and Jed are thinking about, and it's a decision that is largely financial based about what is in the best interest. And the no-brainer answer is an extra year of control when Kris Bryant's in his prime over 9 games in 2015 season. Well, of course, we want the extra year of control, and I agree with that. I side with that. But at the same time, it's very hard to keep a guy like Kris Bryant down in the minor leagues because bringing a guy like him up is giving the Cubs the best chance to win the baseball game. And for the first 9 games, we all have superstitions because we're Cubs fans. We're able to look past that point and see, well, you know what, 9 games, it might be a 1 or 2 game difference in the division or for a playoff spot. And those are types of things that, bother somebody like me because I'm so superstitious. Murphy's Law, if anything can go wrong, it will. That's what I begin to think as a Cubs fan. So just more updates on that decision will be coming up, and then, of course, we'll know for sure by the beginning of April. The other thing was Matt Caesar. Matt Caesar is hitting .360 right now, and this is a guy that I'm really liking. He looked really good when he got called up to the major leagues last year. This is a guy that's been in the Cubs system for a long time. He's been pretty successful throughout the minor leagues, and he's starting to show that he's a capable Major League Baseball player. And this is somebody where if he continues to perform like this for the rest of spring training, it's going to be pretty hard for the Cubs to deny him a roster spot. He's in direct competition with a guy like Christian Orfia, who's performing well. He's hitting .250, and then Arizmendi Alcantara is in that situation as well. So these are all things to where the Cubs are just going to have to make a decision and figure out what the best thing to do with Matt Caesar is. But as of now, I think he's done more than enough to guarantee himself a spot on the roster. It's a little crowded back there, and we're going to have to see what the appropriate action is for that situation. Other than that, that is all I have for today. We have plenty of hope for Clark and Addison today. We beat the defending AL champs in spring training. Check back tomorrow for another video. And, the NCAA tournament's starting, so have fun with that. Watch a lot of college basketball. NHL playoffs are about to start, so, always excited to watch Blackhawks and everything. Other than that, that is all I have for today. So good evening, Cubs fans, and check back in tomorrow.